Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Citizens across Ukraine are clearing up after a day of Russian missile strikes which caused widespread death and damage in cities up and down the country. This the scene at a square in central Kyiv. It's the first time the capital has been targeted in months and marks a significant escalation in the conflict. Ukraine says 11 people have been killed across the country, with many more injured in the blasts. Here, a pedestrian on Kyiv's Klitschko Bridge, narrowly escaping this morning when a missile hit the popular walkway. The mayor of Zaporizhia said 7 Russian missiles hit the city in the early morning hours of Monday, killing at least 1 person. Multiple explosions hit Dnipro, a city in southeastern Ukraine, killing at least 4 people. While plumes of smoke were also seen in Lviv. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the attacks were deliberately timed to kill people, as well as to knock out Ukraine's power grid. Here, the cleanup beginning in Kyiv. Citizens in the capital rebuilding after a frenzied few hours of strikes.
More weapons, what Ukraine definitely needs, but also we see that Ukraine also needs humanitarian aids. They need equipment for soldiers.
A Latvian defense official visiting the scene of a missile attack site in Kyiv had to cut short her interview when air raid sirens sounded.
So the fear is that this could trigger a very strong Russian response. We saw yesterday that a residential area of the city of Zaporizhia,
and here a reporter taking cover as explosions are heard nearby.
More than a dozen.
Kyiv's mayor accused Russia of waging a war on the Ukrainian people.
This attack have total different emotion of our citizens. People is angry and want to defend our houses, defend our families, our children.
The European Union said that Russian attacks on civilians in Ukraine amounted to a war crime, and countries like Poland are pushing for further sanctions.
I am shocked and appalled by the vicious attack on Kyiv and other Ukrainian cities. Russia once again has shown to the world what it stands for. It is terror and brutality. Those who are responsible have to be held accountable.
The Russian president says Monday's widespread Russian strikes on Ukraine was a retaliation for Saturday's attack on a key bridge.
Vladimir
Putin said he had ordered the massive long-range strikes and threatened more strikes in future if Ukraine hits Russian territory. He said Ukraine was behind the attack on the bridge that badly damaged the only link between Russia and occupied Crimea, a key route for military supplies for the war. At least 22 people have died and 52 are missing after 5 small rivers in central Venezuela flooded due to heavy rains. The downpour on Saturday night swept large tree trunks and debris from surrounding mountains into the community of Tajerias, 40 miles southwest of Caracas, damaging businesses and farmland. The vice president said the priority was to locate people still trapped under mud and rocks throughout the town, while military and rescue personnel also searched the riverbanks for survivors. And Kanye West has been locked out of his Twitter and Instagram accounts after posting anti-Semitic messages. The star had his Instagram account suspended at the weekend after accusing rapper Diddy of being controlled by Jewish people. The message played into a long-standing anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. West responded to his suspension by rejoining Twitter and posting a similar message, earning him a second disbarment. Both platforms removed West's posts and said the star had violated policies on hate speech. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.